Hello and welcome to this week tutorial. In this week tutorial, we'll be creating a carousel slider with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this is our finished project right here. It's gonna be a sliding animated carousel. You can see it's do like a full screen and a right arrow key and a left arrow key. It will come with a lot of features. For example, you see the preview image for the next slide and a preview image for the previous slide. And bottom here we have the bullet which you can click and cycle through. You have this play button. So let me just show you the demo. Because I'll click the next, and update here. I click next, I go to next and update here. Click the I go to the last one. I can see right here. If I click again, I go back to the first one. And same thing, if I click the previous one, go back to the previous one right here, and everything update again. Go back. Also, it comes with the autoplay. So if I press the play button right here, it will start autoplaying after a couple of seconds, as you can see. And I put my mouse over it, it will pause. See, it's autoplaying. Put a mouse over it, it pause. If I click next, go to the next one. But if I remove my mouse, the autoplay will start again, as you can see. If I put my mouse over it, it will pause and I can get updated. If I remove my mouse, it start playing again. So that's what we're going to be creating in this week tutorial. This week we're going to create the HTML and the CSS, and the next week we're going to lay out the JavaScript. So it'll be created that you can create multiple slider if you choose to, not just one, as many as you can on your website. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back. My name is Marius, and this channel I create web design and development tutorial. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you won't miss my future tutorial. Like as I said in the introduction, this week tutorial will be creating a sliding carousel. As you can see the working demo right here. I come with the previous, next, click, go to the next one. Also, I had this button for autoplay. If I remove my mouse off the carousel, it updated and we start autoplaying, as you can see. And the bullet work. If I put my mouse over it, it pause. If I click any of these, it will select the right location. You can see right here. If I press play, it will stop playing, autoplay again. And this image will get updated to show the next and the previous. So in this week, we're going to lay out the HTML, and then the next week, this week we're going to do HTML, CSS, and the next week, the JavaScript. So without further ado, let's get started. So if you want to follow, and there'll be a link in the description. We can download the starter file. I already have it open right here in the boilerplate right here, and the CSS just few stuff right here, and the JavaScript is empty. So sort of fresh stuff right here. I'm using pre-pros for my live reload, so I don't have to refresh the page. So inside my container, we create a div with a class for carousel. Instead of it, create a arrow navigation. So I create another div with a class for carousel navigation. Inside here, create a button with a class called carousel arrow, also carousel arrow left. My type will be button. Inside of it, I created add the icon to I, and the class will be right arrow left. I need 2 of these, so I'm going to wrap all of these in the parentheses. Say times 2. Let me make this one a little small. So, and for this one will be the right one, so I'm going to change this one here. So hold Control D, pull right, save it, and see the 2 arrows right here. Next, after this one, we're going to create our carousel track that we hold the carousel slide. So either UL with a class called carousel track. Inside here, create li with a class called carousel slider. Inside of it, we need an image element with a class called carousel img, and then this source attribute. We're gonna go inside of the images folder / inside here you see the image have class slide1.jpg, slide2.jpg, all of that. So well, the emmet plugin extension for the VS Code, you can just type images / slider dash and put a $.jpg. So the dollar sign will change to a number based on how many image that you need. So we need to row 4, so I'm gonna wrap all of this in the parentheses and multiply by 4. So we create row 4 li with this class, die with this class with the image side of it. See 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I press enter. As you can see, it create them right here. Save it. We get the images right here. After this one, we're gonna create a dot. So I'm gonna create the word class called carousel dot. So I create a button for the class called play pause, and that class is for this one. Type button. Also, I will give it another attribute called custom attribute data states, and this will determine whether it's auto playing or pause, and it will be pause for now. Press enter. So we get this, and inside of it we can have 2 icons. So the first one where we had this class, 2 classes, pause line, another class called pause. I'll duplicate this, shift alt down arrow key, and this one will be play. Save it. You can see them right here. And after this one, I'm going to create the other dot. So I'm going to create parentheses, button, use the button element with a class called dot, and what type button. And for this one here, you don't need to press CC, we can put the enter inside of it. We can leave it like this, and we need to draw 4 because we have 4 elements. And when we get to the JavaScript, we will code the plugin. We code this carousel so you don't have to write all of this. The JavaScript will generate all these classes for you. All you have to put just your images, and JavaScript will generate all these classes and wrap everything around like a plugin. So in the first one, I will give a class active and I save it, and nothing shows here. We are very small right here. So that's that for the HTML. Now moving to the CSS. If you need to pause, you can pause and write it. I'm going to your CSS, and you should see a section called Carousel right here. We get started right there. So I'm going to select my carousel class. Say width be 100%, height to be 100%, the overflow, heading, aside position to be relative, the border radius to be 0.61. Save it. Nothing happens here. So I'm going to move the track, carousel track, that wrap around these images, no, all images track, and that also width and height 100. I said display reflex. Save it. Now you can see now we are very small. We want to make sure each one of them take 100% by pairing with, which is the carousel, this one right here. So now we set, now say transform, translate 3D, name says 0 0 0, and I'll give it transition, say transition, and it'll probably be transformed. And I have a variable in top for the rest of the transition, which is right here, 0.35 seconds in and out. So we take effect right here. So after the track, we want to select individual slides, and those are wrapped around the carousel slide class. And I set a flex growth to be 0, shrink also 0. It's shrinking right now because by default it's set to 1. So 0, and that makes it to be 100%. Save it. Now you see in the overflow you're hiding it. Now set height be 100% as well. Now let's move to the button. I want to remove the background color and the border. So I say button background color be transparent, border be 0. I said display reflex, the online item center, justify content center. So make sure everything that's center. Say inline flex. Okay. Now let's over these right here, which is the cursor navigation arrow, all of this. So I'm going down, select the cursor arrow since both of them has it. Set the position absolute, so I want to bring them here. Position absolute, tab to be 50%, then transform translate y negative 50%. Now set a left to be 2 RAM, set z index to be 15, set width to be 3.5 RAM, height as well. And I set a border radius to be 0.4 RAM. Save it. Now you can see anything right here. If I take a look right here, we had these images, we have background images. So we temporarily put a background image under right here. So you can see say background image, the linear gradient. I want to use this overlay color on top of it. So for this color RGBA, it's gonna be the same thing for the second value. Set the URL. Now just put image, yes, random image for now. The second one. Save it. And I wrote that correctly. Test color. Yep, I wrote that correctly. Now say background size be cover. Background repeats. We know repeats. And background position be center. Center. Save it. Now you can see the image right here. And I put transition. Let me make this one a little bit larger so you can see it. Now I'll put the right one, this one here. Also, before we go, the cursor, the pointer, but then like it's clickable. That's like it's clickable now. So down here, with the carousel arrow, and then carousel arrow right. Set the left, the auto, the right, we took RAM. Now it shows right here. Now add the hover effect. If you take a look here, when you hover over it, the background image move. Let's move this one, move to the right, this one to the left. So I'll copy this one. Say hover. Say back. I will change the background position to be center left. So if I hover, as you can see, it moves. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for the left one. So I'm gonna copy this one, come down here, and this one be left. And I'm gonna be center right. As you can see. Now I'm gonna deal with the icon inside of it. You can see it. So say that's an arrow. This one. Choose the eye inside of it. Say color. A global PG color. font size 2.5 and 1.5, as you can see. So now we move to this on the bottom right here. We will wrap it around carousel. That's the position to be absolute. Bottom to round. Left 50%. Transform. Translate. X negative 50%. Says the index to be 15 also. And say display reflects. The background color to be the text color. Set a padding 1.5 rand. Border radius 25 rand. And a line item to be center. Save it. As you can see right here. Now let me start the play and pause button. Play, pause. Set position to be relative. Set width 2 rand. Height 2 rand. Set our border radius to be 50%. Background color to be the global, and border color, the border to be 0.2 rand solid. The button over be the color, and I need to put a var in front of it. Say margin right 0.8 rand. Save it. I have it right here. Come down here. I'm gonna start the icon inside of it. So play, pause, inside of it. Set position to be absolute. Tap 50%. Left 50% as well. Transform, translate, negative 50%, negative 50%. As a font size in 1.2 rand. Color to be the hover, button hover beauty color. Opacity to be 0. And transition to be opacity. Now everything will disappear. That's why we gave these the states of pause or playing. So we will say if we had a state be playing, and also before we go forward, we did add this class. So I say play, pause, data, states. That's how you select it. Go playing. We add a playing. Then we're going to grab the pause class, which is this one. If you say playing, the pause class right here. Once set it to be opacity 1, also the same thing. If it's pause, then you want to show the playing but icon, but if it's playing, we want to show the pause icon. So I'm just going to copy this again and say pause, say play, set opacity to be 1. Right now it's show the play because they had a state of pause. Now let's move on to the small bullet points. So it will be carousel dots, and then through the dots right here. Set width and height to be 0.6 rem. Set a border radius to be 25 rem. Set background color to be the global. And the margin right to be 0.4 rem. And transition save it, hit them right here, and the border radius, not just border. Now you can see. Now when you have the active class, the dot, you want to size width to be 2 rem, and background color to be the button hover. Save it. Now you can see. So that's it for the CSS. Is the just the HTML, the CSS, and the next week tutorial we adding the JavaScript. And the JavaScript will generate all the HTML. All we have to do is just provide the image, this part, and then the JavaScript will generate all the HTML. So we look at this. This is a working project. As you can see, everything will look nice. So that's it for this week tutorial. Thank you for watching. If you have not already done so, I would like if you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss my tutorial when I release new one. Until next time, take care. Bye.